We've got a major Saquon Barkley update from Ian Rapoport. We're going to break that down on today's video. I'm also going to tell you why the Giants season is not over. I've seen a whole bunch of people overreacting on Twitter. I'm going to let you know why the season is just getting started. But first, if you want the Giants to beat the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football, the ball is in your hands. Hit that thumbs up icon right now if you want the Giants to beat the Seahawks on Monday night. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for taking time out of their busy schedule to hang out with us for a couple of minutes. I want to start off with this. We'll get into Barkley in a second. The season is not over. Let's be honest. The Giants starting the season 1-2 by losing to the Dallas Cowboys and losing to the San Francisco 49ers. Every single person thought that that was going to happen. Maybe you thought that the Giants could upset the Cowboys, but we always thought we were going to split with them during the two-game series this year. So starting 1-2 was predictable, and a lot of us still had the Giants making a late season push. You may be 1-2 right now, which means Monday night against the Seattle Seahawks is a must-win ball game. 1-3, you can still make the playoffs, and a couple of teams have done that. Since the NFL changed their playoff format to 14 teams in that 2020 season, 4 of those 42 teams that have made the playoffs started this season 1-3. So it's not impossible for you to make the playoffs if you do end up losing to the Seahawks on Monday night. But since 2020, only 9% of playoff teams have done so. So you have the Seahawks in week 4, and then you have the Dolphins in week 5. I am absolutely scared of that game after they just put up 70 points against the Denver Broncos. And then you got the Buffalo Bills in week 6. At some point, you have to pull off an upset. Every team that makes the playoffs, that really starts the season as a team that's really not expected to make the playoffs. The Giants weren't across a lot of publications. You have to pull off an upset at some point. The Giants, they did that last year against the Green Bay Packers. They did that against the Baltimore Ravens. Will it be against the Miami Dolphins? I'm not sure, but I have my eyes set on week 6 against the Buffalo Bills. You are going to have to win one of these 2 ball games if you want to make a late season push and try to make the playoffs. Let's say you do start the season 2-4 though, and you only win 1 of the next 3 games. The San Francisco 49ers, back in 2021, started the season 2-4 and ended up making the playoffs. So even if you only win one of the next couple of games, you can still make the playoffs. It has been done before. But this stretch of the season, week 7 to week 15, this is the part of the schedule that the Giants need to dominate. You get to play teams like the Washington Commanders 2 times. You get to play the Jets. You get to play the lousy Las Vegas Raiders. You get to play the New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. 8 games right here. Realistically, winning 6 of these games is doable. Yes, the Cowboys are in that stretch, and maybe since the Giants beat the Cardinals and the Cardinals beat the Cowboys, that means the Giants can beat the Cowboys now. I mean, I'm not saying that's what I'm thinking. I'm just saying that's what the people out there are saying. But seriously, you can win 6 of these games. You can beat the Commanders twice. You can beat the Jets. You can beat the Raiders. You can beat the Pats and the Packers and the Saints. Win 6 of these games, and you're going to be right back on schedule to make a late season push to be a wild card team, which a lot of us thought they would be. How do you do that? You got to get healthy. You got to get Andrew Thomas back at that left tackle spot. You got to get Saquon Barkley back at running back. You also need to be better on third down as an offense, but I want to focus in on the defense. The Giants have to get off the field on third down. Right now, their third down stop percentage is ranked in the bottom 5 of the National Football League, whereas last year, the Giants had a top 5 third down stop defense. The Giants got stops on 62.4% of third downs in 2022, the 5th best in the National Football League. Right now, the Giants are only getting stops on 51% of third downs. That is 29th in the NFL. If you can't tackle, which the Giants can't do right now, having 16 missed tackles against the 49ers on Thursday night, you at least have to get off the field on third downs. They haven't been able to do so. They've played two really good third down quarterbacks so far this year. They're going to have to get better in that area if they want to make a late season push. Also you have to find a way to recapture the 2022 magic that this Giants football team had. The swag seems different right now. I don't see Brian Dable getting loose, stogie in his mouth, dancing like he's at the club at 2 a.m. when it's closing. I don't see that energy. I don't feel that juice anymore from this football team. Maybe it takes an upset against the Miami Dolphins or an upset against the Buffalo Bills. They need to get that swag back. They need to get back on track and just try to recreate that magic that team had. Offense has to be better, no doubt about it, but it starts with mindset. I'm a huge mindset guy. This team can do it. They just need to buy in and believe it. I believe in this team. Do you? Do you believe in the Giants to turn it around? If you do, I want you to type me in the comment section right now. If you believe that the Giants can fix the problem and turn it around and make the playoffs, type me in the comment section right now. Coming up around the corner, we have that Saquon Barkley injury update from Ian Rapoport. He was on NFL Network this morning talking about Barkley and everything he has heard. We're going to break that down coming up in just a second. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Waterboy. Go to waterboy.com/chatsports and use the promo code ChatSports, and you're going to get 15% off your order. That link will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. Waterboy is a hydration powder scientifically formulated to cut your hangover time in half. There are other hydration packets on the market, but nothing comes anywhere close to fighting those Sunday scaries like Waterboy. With 0 sugar and over 3 times the electrolytes of Liquid IV, your hangover will stand no chance. Unlike their competitors, Waterboy has added ingredients beyond just hydration to help with nausea, anxiety, and fatigue. We all know that hydration alone is not enough to help after the benders we sometimes have on the Giants Now watch parties or maybe a little trip you had in Vegas. For a limited time, Giants Now listeners will get 15% off your entire order with the promo code ChatSports. So go to waterboy.com/chatsports and use the promo code ChatSports. Hundreds of thousands of people already trust Waterboy as their hangover cure. It's time to stop dealing with that anxiety alone. For a limited time, 15% off. Giants Now listeners get Waterboy. Go to waterboy.com/chatsports and use the promo code ChatSports to take advantage of the deal. Shout out to Waterboy for sponsoring today's show and helping me out after those tough watch parties. All righty, let's close out the show talking about Barkley and that ankle injury. With 15 days in between week 2 for the Giants and week 4 versus the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football, can Barkley find a way to get back out on the gridiron and help this Giants offense, who did not have a rushing attack Thursday night against the San Francisco 49ers? We initially heard reports coming out from Giants beat reporters that Barkley had an ordinary ankle sprain, which is a huge difference from a high ankle sprain. Ordinary ankle sprains, you can come back in a couple of days, maybe even a week or 2. High ankle sprains, sometimes that could take 4 to 6 weeks. We thought it was an ordinary ankle sprain, but Taylor Rooks on Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime, reported it was a high ankle sprain. That's what Barkley told her. But he also said he avoided major injuries. So maybe it's not as bad. And according to Ian Rapoport of NFL Network, Barkley's got a shot to play. He said this on NFL Network. There is a chance that Barkley is able to get on the field Monday night against the Seahawks. The Giants have a lot of time. He's got a lot of extra time to get on the field against Seattle, and there is at least a shot that he's able to do it. You know what? I'm going to make a hot take right here. The Giants need Barkley back. They do. Everyone knows it. I know it. You know it. And we saw that last week on display. The Giants not only couldn't run the football, they didn't even try to run the football. We'll talk about that. But if we get more Saquon Barkley updates, injury updates, or anything, we are going to make a video as soon as possible. And I want you to be in the loop. Don't miss anything on the Saquon Barkley injury front. So subscribe and turn your notifications on. As bad as the Giants need Barkley back, it may not be all that smart to rush him back. I thought Dan Duggan did a perfect job breaking down why the Giants should not rush him back. Dan Duggan, he covers the Giants for The Athletic. Go check him out. Best beat reporter in the game. Listen to this. Barkley missed 3 games in 2019 with a high ankle sprain. He averaged 2.8 yards per carry in the first 5 games after he returned. Barkley missed 4 games in 2021 with a low ankle sprain, which is reportedly the same injury he has now, which at the time was the news, but that is accordingly not the news now. He also said he averaged 3.5 yards per carry in the first 6 games after that ankle injury. Barkley doesn't perform well when compromised, which shouldn't come as a surprise for a dynamic athlete who relies on explosiveness. Beyond Barkley's desire to play, some factors could complicate his timeline. Look, I don't want to rush him back, and I don't think it's a good idea for the Giants. But for a guy that's playing pretty much on the franchise tag, he's going to try to make the most of his opportunities, and I can't blame him for that. Even if the Giants don't have Barkley for this week and he comes back week 5 against the Miami Dolphins, the Giants need to run the football. You can't just hand the ball off 8 times to a running back with this type of offense. The way the makeup is, the way this offense was put together, you need to have a rushing attack. One of my favorite plays of the game on Thursday was the handoff inside to Matt Breida. Matt Breida, great blocking by the offensive line, but he ran hard. He ran through a couple of arm tackles. Just because Saquon's not there doesn't mean you can't run it, and it doesn't mean you shouldn't run it. I want to see them get back to it. Why? Because the Seattle Seahawks defense, they've allowed a couple of big rushing games already. 92 yards in week 1, 102 yards in week 2, and then only 14 carries for the Carolina Panthers in week 3. This defense, you can run on them. And it doesn't have to be with Saquon Barkley. It could be with Matt Breida. It can be with Eric Gray. Honestly, I want to see a little bit more of Gary Brightwell. I like the way that he looked. I thought he looked quick. I thought he looked fast. He can run through arm tackles. Yes, he dropped a wide open pass. But what about the other time he had a pass and he got loose up the left sideline and he showed you that burst and why he was selected in the 5th round a couple of years ago? He's a hard downhill runner, and right now the Giants just need to get the yards that are on the table. And I think Brightwell is the guy that could do that at the highest clip right now. You have to run the ball more than 8 times between just Breida and Brightwell like you did on Thursday night. I want to see Saquon Barkley back as soon as possible. Might be the best player on this team, and we're not the same without him. So show him some love in the comment section. Type those 26s down below if you want Barkley to play this Monday night. I know we all do. This team's a lot more fun when he's on the football field. Also, just want to close the show giving a huge happy birthday to my guy Jalen Hyatt. I think he turns 22 years old today. Giants have a special player right there. Number 13 needs to be used more on this offense, even if it's as a decoy. Because when he's on the field, more attention from the defense goes there, which means it opens up the field and has opportunities come about for other players. Show my guy Jalen Hyatt some love, though. Type those HBDs down in the comment section. And as always, just want to say thank you for tuning in. And if you made it this far in the video, you are the definition of a real one. So give me a follow over on Twitter @MarshallGreen_, and I might give you a follow back.